Alright. Hello everyone, welcome to episode, I think we're on 6 of Yondercraft now. Oh, I see you. You're blocking the way to the lab. Yeah, I'm absolutely recording this the day before it has to go out. Genius move on my part, I know. Gotta get past you, buddy. Don't you start coming closer. Right. God, he's targeting me. So, seeing as I'm recording this the day before it's supposed to come out, I'm unfortunately not going to have time to do a bunch of progress cuts. I would have some progress cuts because Egg, Null, and I started working on the iron farm, but there's part of the spawn chunks that are admin locked, meaning Null is the only person who can build there because she's an admin, and it'd be kind of unfair to have her build like an entire part of, whoopsie, my sword. An entire part of the farm. Oh, I see you. For the sole reason of she's the only person who could build there. That'd be unfair on us to make her do that. Oh! That's what I'm hearing. It'd be unfair on our part to have her be the only person who builds that specific section. So... Also, it's probably going to be real frame ratey because I've been dealing with this lag as I'm building up the lab, which you may have noticed is a lot different than it was last time. The circle is no longer here. What I did is I looked up the actual Black Ops Zombies Moon map, and I've just been kind of building that. I've actually gotten quite a bit of progress done. I have 3 of several rooms that I need. This place is going to need quite a significant chunk of terraforming to make sure that I have enough room for all the stuff. Like, that's going to have to go. That's going to have to be pushed. I'm going to tear the hill behind here down a little so I have a more clear path. And, you know, I'm going to have to clear out a bunch of trees. But... right now I'm lagging to the point where I don't particularly feel like it's a good idea to do any of those things. Like, my frames drop to 0 whenever I place a block. And I don't know if you know this, but that's a little dangerous. Okay, and then I'll loop this around here, and it goes over like 3. So, I'll get a little bit of work done, but like, you can see on the video I have crappy FPS right now, and it correlates to every time I break a block, so I'm probably gonna have to let Mooshi know that, hey, the server goes sicko mode when I break and place blocks. I don't know what that's about, but I thought you might like to know. Okay, so there's this hallway. Yeah, see? And I'll just put this here so I, oh, whoops. So I know that there's supposed to be a room here. Because there is, and it gets about that close. And I would clear out more of the brush, but again, I want this to be a reasonably okay video. And digging up here, I think it's something to do with all of the vines and leaves, because I cut down 2 trees here. You might remember from when I had the circle here, there were 2 trees there. I cut those down, and leaf decay, I had to sit here for like 10 minutes waiting for the leaves to decay before I could like move, so I think it's something to do with that. So when I got sick of doing that, I laid out where all the floors are going to be. We have our ground floor here at y = 70. This is because, you know, it's not particularly uniform right now. I'm going to have to fix that. And then we have 2 blocks for ventilation. So, give here. Ground floor. Oh, hell. Where are you at? I hear you. Okay. Oh, y equals 71. Fixed it. All better now. No need to worry. And then we have ventilation from y68 to y69. Then we come down level 4, and level B1 is y64 with ventilation at 63 and 62. And then we come down, and B2 is 58 with ventilation at 57 and 56, and so on and so on. B3 is 52, vents 51 and 50. B4 is 46, vents 45, 44. B5, which I kind of screwed up the room on, Y40 with vents at 39, 38. B6, Y34 with vents at 33, 32. And B7, Y28, and there's no vents below it. So I guess I could talk a bit about what's going to go on each floor. I don't have fully fleshed out, like, maps. The only two that I have fully fleshed out are ground floor and B1. Essentially, B7 is going to be the only access point to the massive redstone reactor core. I actually googled what reactor cores look like, so there's, like, it stretches all the way from the, B2, I think, is the only floor that doesn't have it. Yeah. B1 and B2 don't have access to it, so actually the only floors that I have mapped out properly are B3 and ground floor, because I accidentally stuck the reactor on a floor it wasn't supposed to be on. Whoopsie. So, I guess that'll be fun. There's some elevators, so this floor is going to have the reactor, and then around the reactor is going to be my entire storage system, and probably all of the, like, shulker box loader redstone machines, stuff like that. And there's going to be a direct line through where this staircase is right now that leads from the very ground floor down to the lowest floor, so that way I always have direct, fast access to it, because it's probably honestly the dumbest place I could have picked to put the storage system, but I don't care. It's my storage system. And then I'm going to have vents you can crawl around in, because I do 1x1 mining now, since it's easy to crawl. It is the most relaxing thing on the planet. If you have a mouse where you can, like, set up buttons to use your keyboard, like, I've got one hand off my mouse right now, and if you notice, I'm still able to walk, I can move, I can open my inventory, I can hit escape, I can hit jump, I can hit shift. Yeah, I have that many buttons on my mouse. And if you notice, that didn't even include placing and breaking blocks. Or pick block. On B6, I think I want to have my villagers here, so that way I can be absolutely sure that they're perfectly safe. So I think I'll put my villagers on B6, and probably a lot of my farms too. Like, B6 will be a residential, and then actually maybe I won't have my farms on B6 unless they're villager powered. So B6 is going to be residential and villagers, because I'm going to put a room in here for all of the Beyonders. And then we have some ventilation to crawl through. B5 will probably be all the farms that deal with villager trading, like food farms, leather farms, etc. All of the stuff where I'm essentially going to want to spread this out as much as I possibly can, because it's going to be very loud. I do have quieter resource packs installed, so stuff that is loud is quiet, like dispensers and droppers, the like. So that stuff's going to be quieter, but it's still going to be pretty loud. Then we have ventilation, and B4. I don't actually know what I want to put on B4. I think this might be just screwing around with redstone, just practicing redstone, a bunch of horrible redstone contraptions, because I'm never going to get better at redstone if I don't practice. So I think I might dedicate B4. There's some ventilation, and maybe B3. B3 does have viewpoints through the reactor core, but, like, I have 4 floors that I have no idea what I'm going to put on. Besides, like, office space, maybe more residential, you know, the works. And then I have a lot of ventilation that's essentially going to be, like, stone brick or polished andesite stairs, whichever I can get. I hope I can get polished andesite. That would look so good for vents. And it's essentially just going to be 1x1 vent crawling. You can crawl around in them. And they are fun to crawl around in because I like doing that. And then we have some ventilation, and then the ground floor, which is going to be a lot of office space. And, like, oh, I forgot, I'm going to have floors dedicated to experiments, so maybe that's what those floors will be. Maybe I'll shift farms or something up, so I can put, like, maybe I could also just scatter the, fossil experiments throughout the lab. Since this is Jurassic Jungle, I am going to have experiments where I have, oh, I'm gonna need so many dragon eggs. I'm gonna have to make a world dedicated to practicing soloing the dragon, so I can just, here we go again. Yeah, I'm gonna have to have some floors dedicated to experimentation. So maybe the top 4 floors are dedicated to, like, office space and making sure the workers don't go insane, because that's important. And also experimentation. I'm out of signs right now and I don't want to make more, but I think that would be cool. I think that would be neat. Okay. Pardon me. Well, I suppose if I can't dig out or lay out stuff for the top floor, I can lay out stuff for B3. Okay, B1, vents, 2, what the heck? Vents, so I can hear him. B3, okay. So, this is where the elevator shaft is going to be, so I'm going to dig this out. I don't have any torches on me because I'm not that smart. So let's go find some torches. This pen so it isn't in my way. Yeah, you can see where I screwed up the layering and would have had enough room for only, like, 4 layers, which is unacceptable. It is absolutely not okay. Okay, so I know I have some torches over in my mine, and if not, I'm gonna have coal down there because I don't bring stuff up. What I'm probably gonna do is I might actually install an auto transporter where I just load stuff into a chest and it sends it into the storage system, because it's gonna be an auto sorted storage system, so I don't have to worry about being the disorganized mess that I am. The World Tour will hopefully be out soon-ish, and it's going to be fairly obvious that I am a heathen who doesn't organize any of my stuff when that comes out. Okay, I'm going to make some torches, and then these will go back. Then I shall dig out B3. So actually these will go here. I guess this is what the episode will be filled with. I do apologize for the legacy-like episode, but honestly I'm really comfortable recording like this, so these might be a little more common. I mean, I'm probably still going to do a massive cut of progress in between this episode and Friday's episode, but because there's only a few days between Monday and Friday, and they're often filled with my family making me do family things, it's entirely likely that Friday episodes are much likely to display more progress than Monday episodes. Even though I'm not recording the episode on Monday. That would be unintelligent. And who knows, I might have enough stuff for a cut. B2, B3, okay. Where did I stick this in the elevator shaft? Because I should probably actually dig out all the elevator shaft stuff first. It's gonna suck out my ventilation signs. That's gonna be fun. Okay, well, I'm not gonna need, so I'll just leave the ventilation signs. And then I'll leave that. dig this elevator back out. That's dragging me down to 0 FPS every time I break a block, and I think it has something to do with the fact of trees. And I mean, I can't really complain all too much. It could be worse, like a lot, but yikes. Oh, also you might notice that my tools look funky. I have a resource pack that helps me know when my tools are about to break. I have a lot of resource packs is what I'm trying to say. They are, in case you're wondering, they are the vanilla tweaks by Zazuma Void. I decided I want vanilla tweaks because it's going to help and also make my game look pretty. Like all the quieter animals and redstone stuff, that's vanilla tweaks. All of the 3D door and plant stuff you've probably been noticing throughout the entire episode, that's vanilla tweaks. In essence, vanilla tweaks is a good pack, and the ability to choose and pick which tweaks you want is a really good one. So, I don't have the rainbow XP bar. I decided I didn't want that, but I do have most of the other cool stuff. Okay. And then I'll just leave the blocks that have signs on them, because they're going to be eliminated anyways. I'm gonna have to figure out where that cave is and light the entire thing up, 'cause I don't like that zombie making noises at me. Fun fact, here's where I screwed up the layers. You can tell because I patched it badly with cobblestone. Let's see how deep we can get before I run out of episode time. I want to be able to get to B3 because getting to B3 is going to allow me to start excavating B3, and then in between episodes I can design the rest of the layers and finish excavating B3, so on Friday I have a nice, wonderful batch of progress to show y'all. Instead of, okay, we're digging out again this episode because I don't have anything else to do and nothing else to show. Okay, B2 means B7 is probably going to be similarly fun, quote unquote, to dig out. Because that was a roof that I did not expect to be there. Okay. We're getting it. Leave the block. I'm very stupid. Like, egregiously stupid. I've dug out the floor that B1 was on. I need to be leaving those. Okay, no, I didn't dig out the floor B1 was on. I don't think that negates the egregious oversight of I almost dug out the floor B1 was on. Yeah, I have enough time to do this. Okay. B1. I don't remember what level it's at, but that's okay. Let's give me the red dye. Nope, I have to actually pick it up myself. That goes in. And then we'll do the same kind of bad fill that I do for the others. Okay. Okay. And then 1, 2, 3. once I finish digging this out. Okay. I like to think that I've got a significant amount of progress done, even though I know that I didn't. Maybe next episode I'll have quite a bunch of progress done. I'm looking to get the portals to the village and mining desert and mesa that I have, like, literally prepared for myself. They are ready to go at a moment's notice. I want to get those done in between episodes. B3. Cobble back out. Lock this up. There we go. Right, so that's unfortunately all the time I have for this episode. Thank you for tolerating an egregious... Oh, it's nighttime. An egregiously short episode, I think, or rather an episode with very little progress is what this was. Run back to my starter shack. So, crap. Thank you for watching. If you're part of the morning crew, I hope you have a great day. If you're part of the evening crew, I hope your day has been great. And if you're part of the morning crew, well, I hope... And if you're part of the afternoon crew, well, I hope your day is going alright. I've been Ruby Robotic, and I will catch y'all in the next episode.